Okay, Titan, I want you to look up, shouldn't have said your name in the video. Okay, you're the only one who will see it, so that's fine. I want to look at number 1, okay. Compare it with what you did, okay, so. Now you did the top right where you got x plus 3, x plus 4. But you put x plus 2, x minus 2, and it was 9. So that would be x plus 3 and x minus 3, because that's x, x, and 3, 3. So you cancel those. Those two will stay. So we have x plus 4 over x minus 3. You don't have any outsides. That's your answer. Okay? Now I also want to look at number 3 with you. So now you're adding the expressions. X to the second minus 1 over x to the second plus 2x minus 3 plus x plus 1 x plus 3. Okay, now you're adding. So when you're adding, you need a common denominator, and then you extend the two lines. Now the tops, you just put parentheses with the minuses and plus. You don't want to factor those, so don't try to do that as a dops. Okay. Alright, now your bottoms, you have to put parentheses and you have to see if they factor. So x to the second plus 2x plus 3. So that would be GCF and table. GCF would be 1, so I wouldn't do it. And then 1 times 3 is 3, so it would be positive 3. And we're adding to try to get to positive 2. Okay? So, wait a second, I do that, did I write that down right? Oh, it's negative 3, that's a minus 3. So it'd be negative, so it's a positive times a negative. If I divide by 1, I get 3. Now that's negative 2, so I have the two answers, so plus and minus. Now your A up there is a 1, so you can just make it as x minus 1 times x plus 3. There was no GCF, so that's how I just turned this into this. X minus 1 times x plus 3. Okay, x plus 3, the other denominator, okay, I can't do much with that. I mean, it's 2 terms, but the GCF is 1, and that's not a DOPS, okay? So we're just going to keep that the same. So now I have my denominators factored. Now I just need to get them to be the same. So we got x minus 1 and x plus 3. Okay, so x minus 1, I got 1 and 0. So I put my own x minus 1 over there. X plus 3, I got 1 and 1, so we're good there. So we have our common denominator. Just circle one of them. So down here, you know you're going to have x minus 1 and x plus 3 on the bottom. Okay. So I wasn't sure where you got that second power at. Okay, now you need to simplify the expression on top. So you know right here you got 1x to the second minus 1, and here you do the FOIL. So x times x times 1, negative 1 times x, negative 1 times 1. So that's x to the second, 1x, negative 1x, negative 1. Those cancel, so it's I have plus 1x to the second minus 1. So I add the x to the seconds, and that's 2x to the second, and then minus 1 would be minus 2. Now see if that factors, okay? At the end, after you simplified it, you have 2 terms, so see if you can factor the 2 terms. So GCF DOPS, okay? So the GCF would be 2, because you can have 2 and 2, but not x, so you just divide by 2, and we end up with x to the second power minus 1. Now that's a DOPS, okay? Because you have xx plus minus, and then that's 1, 1. So drop your 2 down. Okay, so that's what you're going to put on the top. Now what was the point of that? Well, now I can get rid of the x minus 1's, and I end up with 2 with x plus 1 over x plus 3. So that's what we should have. So number 1, number 3, number 5 I'll check, okay. So you have 3 plus 3 over x over 1/2 plus 1 over x. Okay, circle the top and the bottom, okay, and put a division sign off to the side. So we need to underline the 3. We need to put an x here and an x here. So now I have my common denominator. It would be x, okay? And then we have 3x plus 3. Now here I need to match the denominators up, okay? So I have a 2 here. If I put a 2 here and then take 1 times 2, that would be 2, okay? Now I just need an x here, and I put 1x plus, so I have 1x plus 2. On the bottom, we just have our common denominator, which is 2x, okay? Okay, now I would like you then to turn that into a multiplication problem, 3x plus 3 over x, and switch that to times, and then we'll just flip over. Okay, now the times I put parentheses, but they're not the same, okay? Now these outside x's, I can get rid of those. Okay, so I take 2 times 3x, that'd be 6x, and 2 times 3 would be 6. And on bottom you got 1x plus 2. So that would be the answer to that one.